Hello and welcome to Zoom TV. I'm Parul Sharma and I hope you all are keeping safe and well. Today I have with me Avriti Chaudhary. She won the title of Miss Diva Supranational India 2020 and is on her way to represent India at Miss Supranational 2021. Hi Avriti, how are you doing?
Hi, Parul. I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm good. How pumped are you? How are the nerves? Tell me all about it.
Oh my God. If I think if I start talking about it, I won't be able to stop because I think I'm leaving on 29. It's pretty close, so I'm very excited. But at the same time, there's a lot of mixed emotions that are coming in. I'm nervous, and since there are a lot of things that I have to do by myself now, so my mind keeps running on. Okay, will this happen? Will that happen? Will I be able to manage that? So yes, sometimes I do get nervous and everything, but I think I've prepared myself enough. It's just time for myself to tell me that I'm just gonna nail it and breathe in, breathe out.
That's exactly what we like to hear from the India represent. So that's the mentality. Okay. So I want to know, how did your journey into pageantry sort of begin, and what was the thing that sort of gave you that final push and made you take the leap?
I am from Jabalpur. I'm
Yeah.
not from Mumbai. Okay. So, and I come from a family that they always have believed in mainstream careers, doctor, engineering, CA, all of that. So, what happens is when you come from this kind of a family background, it's not always easy to step into a career that is so unknown to your community, your family. And that was a bit of a challenge and a struggle to convince my parents to let me follow this passion of mine. While I was in college, I had participated in a couple of fashion shows, and I realized that I just love walking on the ramp. I love being in front of the camera. I just enjoy this so much, and then I wanted to take it forward. So after graduation, I had like an honest chat with my parents, and I said that let just give me this one chance. It's the time now to try out whether it's going to work for me, not work for me, how much stress and pressure of this industry I can take or understand. Because I know I also come from a place that I don't have much awareness about this. I will have to learn as I go. And it turns out that I moved to Mumbai in 2019. Within a very short span of time, in 3 months, I got to do some amazing work. I started on the ramp with the ace designer duo Shantanu and Nikhil. And that was just a best experience I could have asked for with my first ramp. I think in 3 months that I was doing modeling, I was also fascinated by pageantry and I wanted to try even there. And I got through in my first chance and then I won the pageant, but the pandemic happened. So there I had a little snag in the road in terms of work and opportunities because the whole world had come to a halt.
Yeah.
But I'm still very grateful to this platform because since I was here and since I had won, there were still opportunities that were coming in my way because I was recognized because of the work that I've done, because of the achievements that I've had. And I think that was really important in this trying year that we have had.
Absolutely. I mean, the pandemic kind of threw everybody for a toss, but glad to see that you're still up and running and raring to go. So, for the people who don't know, can you please tell the viewers what Miss Supranational is all about?
Miss Supranational is, what I'll tell you what it means to me and what importance it has held in my life is that this pageant has just made me believe that Miss Supranational is all about being limitless, that you shouldn't be bound by where you come from and what society thinks that you can do or you should do, because that is the journey that I have had, that I just told you. And even in this pandemic, it has just pushed me to do better and made me just kind of think, even in these limited resources, what I can do best, what I can bring out, what I can provide, where I can add value. And I think that is what the importance this pageant holds for me. And this is a platform where you become a role model and an inspiration, and then you have to look in that perspective to inspire people of with the work that you're doing, with the new ideas that you have. And I think this is it gives a platform to all the young girls to tap into their inner potential and just showcase all that they have to give out to the world. Like for example, I have in this very challenging year, I was still able to, apart from the professional work that I was doing, I was also able to do some humanitarian work. In the peak of the pandemic, I was able to go out, and I registered myself as a volunteer with the Robin Hood Army. So I was able to go
Right.
out and serve people in the community, because I realized with the pandemic happening, there were so many people who had lost their lives, lost their livelihoods, and the source of income. So there was a lot of hunger that had spread. And as a volunteer with the Robin Hood Army, I could go out to the slums in my city, even in Mumbai, and help them and provide food kits to them. And that was the most humbling experience that I've had. So it's about both, just not letting anything bind you, just going out and doing what you believe in.
That's absolutely heartwarming to hear. How have you been prepping for Miss Supernatural, especially during this pandemic? Because I imagine there must have been all sorts of unique hurdles due to COVID-19 that no one's heard of before, and you have no idea how to tackle these things. So please give us an insight into that.
I have had the most interesting training, I'll tell you, and no one can beat that, because when it started, I had to do everything virtual, because that was the only way to go about it.
Absolutely.
If people are working from home, then I can definitely train from home. So I was working out virtually. I was doing ramp walk virtually, which was challenging because it's not easy to figure out what my mentor is doing, what my trainer is doing. And then, but I would tell you that she's so amazing that even through virtual sessions, she was able to figure out what I'm doing wrong and guide me. So even with all these hurdles, I was still preparing myself. I have even done sometimes hair and makeup online when it was the need of the hour. So now I feel that I've become really accommodating to all of these things. You throw whatever at me, I'll do it. When I was in these situations, I used to hate it. I used to feel, why during my training year, I just wanted to have that amazing pageant experience, just going out, meeting people, having fun, getting to know them, learning from them, and sharing my ideas, and having a culmination of ideas and just having fun with it. But virtually in the start, I felt it was not that effective, but I think I learned different lessons. This journey had to mean something different for me. It was all about pushing my boundaries. And I'm very grateful to all the panelists that I've had on board. They've been amazing and really kind to me. I think after the second wave that hit India, after that, I could finally, when things got better, I was able to meet them in person, and everybody knew that we had very limited amount of time.
Right.
But the way that they have also pushed themselves to help me get better, to help me reach my mark, was amazing. And when we see someone working so much for you, your growth, it pushed me as well. No matter how tired I was, no matter how I felt like I just can't do it, but to see them put in so much effort and have that passion, it used to fire me up as well. And this is just how my training has been going.
I mean, ramp walking in person is only so hard, and doing it virtually is sounds absolutely insane. I mean, kudos to you. Avriti, you've of course been receiving guidance and mentorship for this pageant. So who are some of the key panelists that have been instrumental in your training?
Ramp walk, I've been preparing with Alicia Rao. She's a top model herself, and to learn from her is an absolute delight. She's just such a warm, kind-hearted person. And see, like I was telling you, I would be tired as hell, but she would have that energy. She would pump her energy into me and make sure that I am training no matter what. And for my communication and diction, I've been training with Supreet Bedi. She's also just amazing. Again, when I felt that I've just exhausted my brain to think about things, she would just help me communicate better, articulate better, think about things from a different perspective, newer perspective. And all these things really helped me, because during the pandemic, I kind of went into my shell, because there were things that I expected and it didn't happen. So I was in the start feeling a little disappointed about things. My perspective was shifting on a little bit on the negative side, but to bring my personality to the back old self, she really worked with me and had the patience to get to know me, how I'm really like. For my hair, I work with Pooja Desai from Chroma K Salon. She also has curly hair. so she knows how to deal with curly hair. That was really easy because not everyone understands curly hair. Very satisfying to just have them in their natural form, because I love my curly hair. And then she was really able to guide me with how I can keep them, take care of them, do different hairdos. Clint has helped me with my makeup. Before coming here, I thought, makeup would be the hardest thing for me to do, because it's an art. Makeup is an art, and I thought that I would not really understand how to, the blending and eye makeup and all of that, to have natural makeup, but yet do makeup. And it is just things used to go over my head, but he's made it sound really easy, really fun. So the best part is that, my panelists have been so amazing that even while I was training with them, I didn't feel the pressure. I just felt that I'm having fun and I'm learning. And that's the beauty of it.
And tell us some of the highlights about the finale gown and the national costume that you will be wearing. That's always an exciting high point.
I'm also so excited about my finale gown. So finale gown has been designed by Kresha Bajaj. And she's made a stunning piece that just reflects my personality. The rest of the details are something that I'm still going to keep a secret, because we are actually planning to release it on the day of my prelims. And I can just tell you that she's done a phenomenal work. I can't believe that I'm going to wear this piece. Just something so stunning that has been made specifically for me. And I was just so happy. I wanted to cry there when it's going to come out. I can only tell you that we've experimented, and it's something that India has not done before in terms of finale gowns. I'm so happy that I got to be the person that experiment was done with, and it is amazingly successful. National costume has been done by Suneet Verma. It is a lehenga, and it's an amazing, beautiful, royal, elegant lehenga, and that is just what I feel when I'm wearing the lehenga. So that is what you are going to see as well. Just rich Indian culture oozing out of that beautiful, elegant piece.
It sounds absolutely thrilling, and I can't imagine how you must be feeling to put it on. Customized piece just for you. Sounds incredible. Can you also share some details about the lead pageant stylist and the key designers that have been, at the center of putting your whole trousseau and your wardrobe together?
So my pageant stylist is Bharat Gupta, lead pageant stylist, and I'm so amazed to see my wardrobe, because I think, he's been really involved in my journey. He knows my personality, and the things that he has picked from my personality to represent it in my wardrobe is just amazing. So what we thought of is to kind of showcase 5 elements, that is fire, water, earth, air, and space, and then represent that in terms of color, silhouette, fabric, and textures. I'm so grateful to all the designers who, in this really difficult time, they have made customized pieces for me, and they've been able to send it to me. We've done trials and everything, because customization is hard if you're not going to the store. So kind of taking measurements, taking the time and effort out, and I really respect them for that, and huge gratitude for that. And some of the designers that I'll tell you, our wardrobe have been done by Lavanya Kodli, Rudraksh Dwivedi, Bhavna Rao, and Maya Couture. Oh my God, I loved her pieces. Nima Studio, they have customized outfits for me. These are some of the designers who have collated a beautiful wardrobe for me.
So now, of course, as we know, pageantry doesn't just end at fashion and talent, right? There's a whole humane side to it as well. A lot of people look up to you, and you end up getting a really large platform. I know you're an advocate for mental health and girl child education. So can you talk to me a bit more about the causes that are really close to your heart and why they matter to you?
Why girl child education is important to me is because I've seen my mother working for it since I was a little kid. She is a principal of an underprivileged girls' school. And since I was a little girl, I have seen her work for this passionately and put in so much efforts for more than 20 years. And I think that is something that I've taken from her. Even though it was her job, but she's gone out of her ways to uplift these women, to kind of shape their future. And I've seen the pride in her eyes whenever she's seen some girl go out there and have a life of her own and have that see the independence that she was trying to help these girls with. And I think this is what I would like to continue doing, because this is what my mother has given to me as a quality and as something that I would also like to give back to the society. Why mental health is close to me is because I have had experiences of my own. When I was in high school, I was really bullied about the way that I look, my curly hair, and fact that I was kind of skinny. And when you are bullied about the way that you look, it really hits you hard. It hits your self confidence, and it uh, kind of makes you question yourself, your worth. And you're young at that age, you're a teenager, and I kind of grew up with low self-esteem and insecurities. But the fact that I'm able to talk about it now with you on an interview is says that I was able to bring myself up from it, get not exactly, I wouldn't say get over it, but teach myself to embrace my unique personality, my love myself. And
Right.
all this journey has taught me to kind of educate myself on a lot of subjects about in mental health. And then I realized that has been something really helpful to me. And I know that there are a lot of people out there who also would require this help. And it would, because mental health issues are something that become a hindrance in your evolvement and your personality, and kind of holds you back from reaching your potential. Because if I was stuck at the same place, I don't think I would have started modeling, because if I was questioning myself, I would have been here. I would be going to represent India at such a huge platform.
Right.
And that is why it has brought me to advocate about it. And what I feel is the biggest step, the first most important step that we can take is just openly talk about it. Normalize conversations about mental health, that it is okay to talk about it. Just know that your mental health is just as important as your physical health, because it's okay. We can talk about, if it's a fracture, it's seen, and you talk about it. You have a cold, you talk about it. It's like, yeah, I have a cold, I have a headache, I'm not feeling that well. Why can't you talk about that you're not feeling okay today and you would like to kind of take a break, or just things are getting overwhelming for you?
Who would you say has been like your strongest pillar of support during this whole time? Like, who is your go-to person?
My sister, my elder sister. She's 8 years older to me, and I'll tell you what. When I decided that I want to do modeling, get into modeling and pageantry, and so I first went to my sister and I told her that I'm kind of thinking of changing my plans. I've done bachelor's of business administration, so thinking like from there I probably don't want to continue right away into the field of management, but I want to try my shot at modeling or in the entertainment industry. So I kind of went to her, and then we had long conversations about how we need to bring this up to our parents and tell them how this would be possible, or it's feasible, or it's all right. It's a career option, and kind of change their perspective towards this field. So she has been my support always. She celebrated even the smallest things that I was doing. I would get, in the start, I would just do a collaboration shoot, like something that I'm not even paid for. She would still be happy about it. See, that's okay, it's your learning phase, you're getting good pictures, it's a process and you'll get there, and all of that. It used to encourage me a lot. And whenever there would be questions coming from my parents, and how will this happen, how will that happen, how will she earn, and what is she going to do long term in her life? So the first battle, she would not let those questions come to me, but she will try to handle it from her end, and then give me a heads up. Listen, if you hear something like that, this might come to you. You're supposed to say this, okay? Just say, stick to this. So she has been, my go-to person in all my difficulty and in all the achievements that I've had.
Older sisters are the best. I know because I am one. I do the same thing for my brother. Okay, and lastly, imagine this. You've reached the final round, then you win the title. Crowds are cheering, atmosphere is crazy. What is the first thing that you do once you realize you're the winner?
Just thinking about it gives me goosebumps. And the first thing, I think I just would want to call my parents up, do a video call with them, because of the pandemic, I've not met them in a very long time. So calling them finally, with the crown, and them also seeing that my hard work has paid off would be really touching and emotional moment for me and for them. And I think that's the just first thing I would want to do, is just to call my parents and just thank them. And then, since I would be away in Poland, I think I'll just end up doing a lot of calls to people who have contributed in my journey, who've been such instrumental in my journey. And then I'm just going to take a break, put my heels aside, and not wear them for like a week because my feet are already hurting.
That sounds like the perfect end. Thank you so much for joining us, Avriti. I think I speak for all of India in wishing you all the very best. And we hope you go the whole way and bring the title of Miss Supranational home.
Thank you so much, Parul. Thank you.